you think of Puerto Rico, and obviously you think of the beaches. Obviously, Miami's got its own beaches, and it's got its own taste and flavor down there. But to your point, you get to experience something that you don't really get to see relatively anywhere. You may think you have to go so far to go see that, yet here you are in Puerto Rico, and you get a little bit of everything.
Puerto Rico's on the map again.
Yeah.
You know, I think for many years we weren't. The fact that you don't need a passport to come out here, you can jump on a plane on a Friday morning and spend the weekend in Puerto Rico, and you're back home Sunday night. There are not many places in the Caribbean you can do that without having to spend hours in passport control. And you know, here you just fly in and off you go.
Yeah.
And even though we're considered a rural location in Puerto Rico, we're only 30 minutes from the airport.
Well, that was one of the things that I was speaking with Brad from Discover. He was saying how easy it is to get around the island, which that was something that was astonishing to me. You know, we're staying at El Caribe, the Hilton over there, and I guess San Juan area.
Yeah.
And highways are great. Transportation is easy to get. I mean, you can get up and down the island relatively easily, which when you go to other islands, it's not the case at all.
No, this is the most developed and most economically active island in the Caribbean. You know, we live in two beautiful worlds, right?
Yeah.
We live in this incredible world where we're surrounded by beaches and coconut trees and spectacular scenery and rainforests, and we have a Home Depot, you know, and a Costco. So we really are within the United States, but we're not.
Right.
It's very cool.
Yeah, no, it is. I feel like you said, it's like the best of both worlds. You get that tropical feel, but you can make a living out here. You can make a life out here, and establish like a true economy.
Very economically active island, incredibly low unemployment, highly skilled and well-educated workforce. It makes for everything to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
So it's a great environment to be in.
Can you tell us a little bit about the property? This property is beautiful. You mentioned based off location, but some of the amenities and you know, things that you can access when on property here.
Well, I won't bore you with all the statistics, but we're pretty big. We're nearly 600 rooms, 486 of those are on nearly 600 square feet each. So in any other hotels, those would be a suite.
Yeah.
In our hotel, those are just a standard room. And then we have 93 suites and 6 villas, including a presidential suite, 5 swimming pools, which is unheard of. We have the largest swimming pool in Puerto Rico and one of the largest swimming pools anywhere in the Caribbean. 72 acres of land, so we have a lot of space. So even when the hotel's running 100%, you don't feel like you're crowded. 17 food and beverage outlets, which is pretty unheard of in the Caribbean. If you're not in an all-inclusive, which we're not. Anything from, you know, grab a cup of coffee and a sandwich through to Prime, where we're sitting right now, where you can you know, enjoy really well-aged steaks and so on. We have a full spa on the property, and then all the rest of the gob that goes with being in the Caribbean. You can kayaking and paddleboarding, and you know, bike riding, and you can go play golf.
Exactly.
You know, and we have El Yunque rainforest on our doorstep, which is just, you know, incredible. I really see us as the kind of gateway to El Yunque. We're the closest big hotel to El Yunque. We have a great relationship with them. So,
interesting.
You know, I think it's a very special place. The only rainforest in the national park system in the United States. I read online all the time about national parks you should visit, and everybody forgets.
There's a
rainforest out here, right?
That's such a good point. I was actually having the conversation the other day with someone, and we were talking about different national parks to visit. And you know, we're from Miami. We have the Everglades right there in our backyard.
Right.
Florida Keys is not considered a national park, but it's almost its own little world in itself.
Well, you kind of leave the United States when you go to the Keys.
Yeah, exactly. It almost, I mean, it's the Caribbean essentially. Right. But, you know, then you go up north and you have the mountains and those different regions up there. But I think you nailed it. I mean, you have a rainforest 2 hours away from you if you're there in South Florida, right? Yeah. I think that's something that people don't think about, right?
Yeah, we're not your typical kind of what people imagine the Caribbean to be, you know, azure water and so on. We're tropical and hard, and we have waves, and we have green ocean, and we have rainforests, and it's just a rugged place to be, but it's safe, right? I've lived and worked all over the Caribbean. This is a safe place to visit.
You feel it.
You pull out your US dollars, you're at home.
You feel it.
Yeah, the vast majority of people will speak English with you and make it a really comfortable and happy place to be.
We have had great hospitality with everyone that we've crossed with, the locals, the people working the event, and Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes people look at, you're from the US, like they're almost like a little standoffish, right? And it's the complete opposite here. The hospitality here is amazing, and that's something that really caught my attention, just how hospitable everyone was, obviously how beautiful the island is. It's truly a unique place. Because I don't know why I came in here with, I guess the Caribbean kind of has its reputation. Puerto Rico does feel different.
It is different. I've lived on 7 islands in the Caribbean,
Yeah.
and it's completely different to the rest of them. I think Puerto Ricans are friendly people either way.
Yeah.
And they've always been friendly people. But I think particularly in the last 3 or 4 years with this phenomenal drive for tourism in the island and the massive effort that the government is making, the DMO is making, the tourism company is making, that it's breeding this understanding through all of the local communities that, these tourists are really important. They drive economic growth within the island. In terms of the greater tourism industry, we're not huge compared to some of these much smaller islands than us.
Really?
We have so much other industry going on in Puerto Rico. We have so many other services. We have great banking, pharmaceuticals. We have incredible medical care in Puerto Rico. Absolutely outstanding, world-class medical care. So that all makes for just a wonderful place. As a tourist coming out here, you never need to worry about taking travel insurance. Right? You've got great medical care on your doorstep. Something goes wrong, there's great doctors. We have doctors on call for this hotel. You don't get that in the Caribbean. So
that's
this
impressive.
is a really terrific place to come on vacation and make a second home.